Welcome back to the Plus Money Podcast, your home for the best soccer bets in 15 minutes or less. I'm Andrew Passaro. He's Nick Dianni. We are through the Europa League. We are through midweek Carabao. We are through Coppa Italia. We are through La Liga in the midweek. We have a big weekend ahead of us. No huge pressing game in the Premier League, but some great games on the continent. We've got Juventus versus Atalanta we'll talk about. We will talk about the Madrid derby. I might press Nick for a quick pick on Milan and Napoli. I'm telling him now this for the first time, but I know he has picks for it. It's an exciting time. Nick, did you know that 90% of the La Liga games in the middle of the week went both teams to score?
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. All Real Sociedad, the only team in Spain this week that kept a clean sheet.
Remember when we liked them like way back a year and a half ago?
Yeah, yeah. That was a different time. Um, so definitely. By the way, both teams to score has come in every single match week in Spain, at least 5 out of the 10 games. And you are usually seeing that at like minus 120, minus 125, minus 130. If you're listening to this Friday morning, which you should be, Espanyol are playing Girona. I'm seeing both teams to score between minus 140 and like, not minus 135. I love that. Girona suck. They give up a
Mm.
ton of goals. Espanyol off to a good start. So maybe it's not something to play individually. Maybe it's a great parlay piece. But something to stick along around with your Friday. But let's get into Saturday morning. Leeds are taking on Bournemouth in the Premier League. Leeds undefeated at home on the start of the season, 1-2-0. But Bournemouth are off to their best start ever in a Premier League campaign after 5 games, 10 points, 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. They will also. I want to look. This is for me. This is exactly the same reason I picked Fulham a couple weeks ago when they beat Leeds. I know we were on the other side of that game.
Yeah.
This is the game that I just don't want to be caught at the end of the weekend of saying Bournemouth is a better team than Leeds. Yes, this is on the road, but they are money line plus 150. They are draw no bet minus 126. I can't look at those numbers and say and not pick them to just get the win and be caught at the end of the weekend. Team total over 1.5 went up to plus 134. I like that a lot. I do think that this Bournemouth team is capable of scoring goals. They do tend to concede, so both teams to score, I think, is on the table here. Last thing for me, Semenyo, Evan Nilsson, one shot on target each. That's plus 107. They've both done that in half of their games. They've only done that together, I think, once or twice, but two informed forwards in the Premier League. And like I said, I mean, Leeds, they've gotten results at home, but they haven't exactly played anybody big at home yet. I think this is easily their biggest opponent at home yet so far.
No, I dig it. Let me first say that people don't know our process together, but our process is Andrew typically sends me the games, and that's how we just like, okay, I'm on board, and we talk about those games. I feel very, very confident when we're on the same side. Very confident. It's been a rocky start to the year for me. Last couple weeks, though, picking up a little bit of steam. Not to say that I've been good, because that would be a lie. I'm so with you here. And I like Leeds. I want to root for Leeds, like not Leeds to do well, but Leeds to stay up or
Yeah.
be in the thick of it because there's so much action in their games and they're so unpredictable. I just think they're a good team to bet game in, when they're involved in a game. That said, those two that you were on are exactly what I'm going to advise. Bournemouth plus 150 on the money line seems like an obvious play. I like the draw no bet at minus 125. I just think crazier things have happened than them blowing it or, Leeds coming out with a miracle last minute goal at home or something like that. It's not as straightforward as you think, is all I'm saying, but really, really good number for Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very fun game to watch at 10 a.m. I'm going to miss 100% of it, or maybe I'll catch the second half when I have multiple screens in front of me, because Crystal Palace are taking on Liverpool at 10 o'clock, a rematch of the Community Shield. By the way, Crystal Palace, I think 17 games unbeaten in all competitions right now, the longest run in club history. They're 11 games unbeaten in the Premier League. Liverpool, however, though, have won 9 and lost none of their last 10 away games against Crystal Palace. There's one draw in that run. It's their longest ongoing unbeaten run away from home in the league against any side. I think the play here is both teams to score in over 2.5 goals because it's hit in 3 straight Liverpool games. It's hit in 6 of 8 across the season. It hit in the Community Shield. It did not hit on the final game of the season when Liverpool played Crystal Palace last year. I just don't think this Liverpool defense is keeping Crystal Palace with a clean sheet at home. They are missing some of their more creative players. Adam Morton, unsure if he's going to play. Sarr's been dealing with some injuries. Yeremy Pino, who I think is kind of the replacement for Eze, who's a good little player. I think he's a guy that we're going to be looking at a lot once he kind of gets established into the Premier League over the next couple of weeks. Um, he might be hurt, but Mateta is a threat against any Premier League club, and with a backline like Liverpool's that has looked exposable at times, definitely a guy I'd be looking at in this game. I don't mind Liverpool corners in this game. Over 5.5 is -122. Over 6.5 is +142. Liverpool have hit 8 or more corners in 3 of the last 4 head-to-head with Crystal Palace.
I
Over
like
six
that.
and a half corners is hit in 2 of their last 5 in all competitions so far this season. I do see Liverpool having more of the ball. Crystal Palace blocking a lot of shots and Liverpool getting corners. So 7 corners at +142. I like that a lot. If you want to take it down, -122 for over 5.5. What are you seeing here?
I hate talking about Crystal Palace because for 3 years I just don't understand who they are. I never get them right, ever, ever, ever. They've been a little bit of a bogey team for Liverpool. I feel like they put out results. They score goals. I think you're 100% on the right track with the both teams to score. Over 2.5 on its own is -140. It is super chalky, but I really honestly do believe you can play it. I mean, a win is a win, right? It would be tough for me to see a game with less than 3 goals. So honestly, that's where I was at. If you want to do an Asian handicap of plus, excuse me, 2.75, you're looking at -130. Excuse me, that's the wrong. You're looking at -115. So I think that's a little more palatable. If you get to 3, it's a half win. If you get more than 3, full win. But I have a golden rule, and you've heard this golden rule. The listeners have heard it. You may even see it later in the show. You're giving me the league leaders who are undefeated at -110 in the money line. I don't really care who they're playing. Liverpool money line until I see otherwise.
This one to me kind of screams draw, and I think
I
that's
agree.
I to me it really does. Um, Hugo Ekitike getting sent off, not available for this game, is so stupid because Isak's probably not good for 90 minutes in this game. So I mean, it's good for us because Chiesa was playing like a man possessed on Tuesday night.
Man of the
Uh,
match, many are
yeah,
saying.
highs and lows for the Italian Liverpool fans on Tuesday night. Um, but uh, yeah, I still think I think Crystal Palace could steal the points off Liverpool here. I think this is yeah, they've played Arsenal. They've played Newcastle, but I think this is another game that they definitely can't take their eye off the ball. Speaking of Arsenal, they have to travel to Newcastle um on Sunday, 11:30. Newcastle have won the last 3 matches at St. James's Park against Arsenal. Um
Love it. Win another, guys. Please.
they they I'm not I'm not convinced by Arsenal just yet, but I'm even less so convinced by Newcastle.
Yeah.
I have 3 plays for you. Arsenal team total over 1.5 is +116. This after getting just rinsed in the media, I have to think that Arteta goes for it. And last year or 2 years ago, one of the games that Arsenal lost that led to them not winning the title was they lost those games to Aston Villa. What did they do? They turn around and beat Aston Villa in both games last year. Newcastle was a similar situation. Losing those points directly impacted Arsenal's title run. I think they take this game pretty seriously, and I don't trust this Newcastle defense. They gave up a goal to Bradford City in the middle of the week in the Cup. 2 shot props. I like Anthony Alanga, -105. He's hit that in 204. If you can get that at a plus number, I mean, -105 is a really good number as
Yep.
well. But Bukayo Saka, 1 shot on target at -130 is also great.
Yep.
Again, you're probably not going to get him on the pitch for 90 minutes, but he's been easing his way back into full fitness. Um, Saka shot on target -130 that's an insane number to me.
I dig it. I have some other guys here that I'm going to give you in a second, but I think this is an over game. Over 2.5, +105. You don't typically see an Arsenal over at plus money because Newcastle has been terrible, right? I think that's the entire reason here. They're going to probably try to come out tough at home, limit what they can. But if Arsenal get an early goal, I think this one just kind of goes off the rails a little bit. But I could see a 2-1 game, even if it's a tightly contested game for, 50 minutes or so. So, listen, Arsenal's defense has been good. We do have to give them that. So I'm asking a lot. I think I'm asking for a Newcastle goal. That's kind of the only way I think this hits, right? I don't think Arsenal comes out and wins 3-0. But the two games that Arsenal have conceded are the two games they drop points. So just kind of something interesting to keep an eye on. To your point, I think they're going to come out and want to get something. They need to get something out of this game. You cannot continue to fall behind Liverpool this early in the year. But some shot props. I think that's the way to go in this game. I think player props are going to be at a premium. So Anthony Gordon, shot on target is minus 105. I think that's decent. Sandro Tonali is plus 245 shot on target.
Ooh,
That just doesn't make much sense to me. I think that's just taking into account the opponent and how Arsenal's defense has been. But because Newcastle have such question marks up front, you're going to need him to kind of contribute on offense. And I didn't put this in, but I'm going to talk about it because I saw it. Zubamendi for Arsenal is plus 400 to get a shot on target on DraftKings. That's
that's
insane.
crazy.
That's
That's
insane to me.
crazy.
This is a guy that's scored goals already this year. He's been a good addition. So I don't know. Just throwing it out
That's
there.
that's a wild one. All right, we jump from the continent. We got to the continent. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, El Derby. Couple things here. Both teams to score belongs in every parlay you can get this weekend. It's hitting six straight in the league. It's hitting 10 of their last 11. Both teams to score in over 2.5. It's hitting six of those 11 games. That's minus 120. I don't mind that. I don't love that because we got a lot of 1-1. There's a lot of 1-1 draws in that
Yep.
stretch.
Yep.
Could it be 2-2? Definitely. Julian Alvarez, hat trick in the middle of the week. Kylian Mbappe on great form as Real Madrid continue to roll. I like the draw at plus 250. 1-1 exact score is plus 600.
I like where you're at.
2-2 exact score is plus 1100. And this is maybe one of the grossest props I've ever given out on this show. But there's only a few players that I would ever give this high of a number out for. Mbappe, 5 shots in the game is plus 130. That's ridiculous. That being said, he's hit that total in 6 of 7 games for Madrid this season. The dude is just taking shots,
Yeah.
and we saw Atletico Madrid give up 20 shots to Liverpool. Yeah, it was on the road, but this team is not as good as
No,
at packing it in as they
no way.
used to be. They don't have the dark arts yet. There's a lot of new faces on this team. Um, I do think Real Madrid could get the result, but I don't. The draw here to me is it's tempting me, man. It is
Yeah.
teasing me. It's right there.
I know. I see why you're there. But the there's two huge factors for me here. Factor one, like I spoke about, you have the league leaders, undefeated. They're plus 130 on the money line. I don't care. I don't care who they're playing. I don't care where they're playing. I'm taking that and not really thinking too much more. Now, they are traveling. Atleti, tough place to play. It's a derby match, which anything can happen. It's not a stone cold sure thing, but Atleti haven't looked good. Their defense hasn't been good. They're not scoring a ton of goals, like you said. They a lot of transition. I feel like on the team, right? They brought in some new guys. They lost some guys. Um, they're obviously going to get up for it, but Real on this form, you have to just consider them. Their team total of over 1.5 goals is minus 110. I'm going to play both. I think you need 2 goals to win in this game. You mentioned both teams to score is pretty much a certainty. So if I believe in Real at plus 130, I believe in them scoring 2 goals.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And Barcelona, like I mean, they've one draw so far. Real Madrid just I cannot wait for the derbies this year or for El Clasico this year.
Yeah,
I don't think the Real Madrid are playing well. I still don't think that midfield has figured it out.
I agree.
That being said, I don't think Atletico have the midfield to really cause them problems just
No
yet.
way.
The Rodrigo de Paul departure to Inter Miami, I mean, Johnny Cardoso is an interesting player, but he is not Rodrigo de Paul. Um,
Yeah.
they're just missing something in that midfield. There's
Listen,
guys that I like, but
they
that
brought in good guys and they have decent depth that I don't think they've had. I think they've had more top end talent than depth the past couple of years. They will potentially figure it out. Bad time for them to play Madrid.
100%. Juventus are playing Atalanta Saturday. Big game for Juve. Money line has gone in a better direction for us because it was at minus 125 yesterday. I'm seeing it at minus 120 now. Team totals dropped a little bit. It was at even money. Team total for Juve over 1.5. I think it's dropped down into the minuses, but you're still getting it at minus 105. They're at home. And last one for me, Keenan Yildiz, score or assist plus 130,
So good.
anytime goal scorer plus 230. I love Juve money line here.
Yes.
I know Atalanta kind of picked it up and have like gotten some results, but they haven't played anybody big
Yeah.
yet.
Yep.
They haven't like and Juve have. I mean, look, the
Yeah.
Inter game, you can kind of throw that one out. The Dortmund game, disappointment at the back, but I think the biggest question we had all summer about Juve was, are they going to be able to score goals? And they've shown
Yeah.
that they can score goals.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
we thinking?
No, I'm thinking if you could just copy paste what you said and repeat it, everything you're saying is kind of where I was going to go. I hate to see it. Vlahovic has looked pretty good. I think Jonathan David is a viable option for them. Yildiz has been the best player in Serie A so far this year. I think I wish that number was a tiny bit better, but it's not, probably won't be for the remainder of time because I think he's that good. And they had their slip up last week, right? You're talking about a team that could potentially be top of the table, right? And they've had a tough schedule, but they've had a couple of shaky instances on defense. So that still is the question mark. Atalanta's defense has been decent, but to your point, they've played absolutely nobody. I worry about who's going to score goals for them. You have to take Juve money line at home. You have to take Juve team total. They've scored two in every game they've played, with the exception of last weekend. And I think they may or may not have got hosed out of some opportunities in that one. So got to go Juve. If Atalanta can get a result on the road, that'd be fucking awesome for the league, and I would love to see it. But until I see Juve drop points at home or lose, got to go with them.
I will have final plays for Milan Napoli over on the Patreon. It's on my list, so I'm not going to give picks here. I'll tell you that my gut feeling was take Napoli, take the incredible price. Are you buy I'm we're not gonna we don't have to talk about picks here, but are you buying Milan yet?
Yes.
Because you are.
Yeah.
Because I'm the Cremonense lost to me in the opening day of the season. And I know it's the opening day of the season. And
That's
maybe
it.
this is me like being a Max Allegri hater, but they are more organized. They are more organized, but like it's Conte's Napoli. There's
Lucky
just
for you, you have the Max Allegri enthusiast over here on the other side to talk him up. Okay, let me say good things about Napoli. They're the reigning champs. They have very good continuity. They've reinforced their squad. They've not played particularly well through 4 games.
no.
They got shitty luck against City, I thought, with that red card. So I'm gonna discount that game. They took care of a bad Sassuolo team. It took them till the 95th minute to beat Cagliari. It took
Hmm.
them 3 goals to beat Pisa, who will probably finish in last place. They haven't looked good, but they're 4-0, right? So what are you putting stock in? Doesn't matter if you're a Napoli fan, if you're a Conte fan, if you're an Allegri fan, you don't give a shit. Give me 3 points, right? Like, as a representative of a fan of a terrible team, I don't care how it looks. I want 3 points. Style points, you can give those to Barcelona or whoever. So you've heard the good and the bad. I am a believer in Milan. I'm a believer in Max. I said at the start of the season that they would finish top four. Nothing that I've seen out of them makes me think otherwise. First game of the year, yeah, a little bit of a slip up. That kind of sucks. But their defense has been great. They've only given up 2 goals. I think that's the best in the league after Roma, who've played 4 boring ass games. Pulisic is the real deal, whether people want to admit it or not. He is one of the driving forces in this league. I think Jimenez finally got off and scored a goal, so that will be good for them. The odds tell me to take Milan at home. Plus 130 at home. Why are they favored? They shouldn't be. Napoli's in first. Weird, right? But Milan could conceivably be on 12 points also, right? Like, it's very weird that they're
Yeah.
not. So I don't think there's a ton between these teams. I do think Napoli are a little bit better. They're a little bit more proven. They're the favorites for a reason. If you want to take them at plus money, if you want to take their draw no bet at plus money, absolutely go out and do that. All I'm saying is it wouldn't surprise me to see Milan win this game.
Yeah, no, everything you said is right. And I've been listening to some of the I don't need more Premier League, discourse in my ears. I get enough of that. So I've been trying to kind of listen to some La Liga stuff, some Serie A stuff. Um, but again, Milan are one of the biggest supported Italian clubs in the world, so it's like it's very easy to fall for the propaganda. I will say one of the things that annoys me for Napoli is they have not that left wing spot is not being filled properly right now with McTominay playing out wide. So,
The
um,
right wing spot isn't being filled properly with fucking Politano out there doing
that
nothing.
that is also correct, but that's a conversation for another day. Let's talk both teams to score. We got a parlay for the weekend. It's a shade under plus 250. We're going to Chelsea and Brighton in the Premier League. Lots of both teams to score when these two teams play. Lots of overs when those two teams play. I feel very confident about that. We talked about Atletico Madrid. They're taking on Real Madrid. Lots of both teams to score there. And then probably the king of both teams to score right now in Germany. Not touching Leverkusen because I'm pretty sure they're playing St. Pauli, although both teams to score is a play there. We're not betting on St. Pauli on this podcast. Um, Mönchengladbach are taking on Frankfurt. Gladbach, not necessarily great at scoring the goals, but Frankfurt's backline is horrendous. Frankfurt just seem to win every game 3 or 4-1. I don't know why, but overs are always on the cards for Frankfurt. I love this Chan Ulzan kid is another really fun striker to look out for. And probably a guy I'll be playing anytime goal scorer a lot this summer or this season as we get through it. So, that'll wrap it up from us. We'll be back Monday evening, Champions League next week. I don't remember who. Oh, I think it's Barcelona PSG in the Champions League next week. I know Liverpool have to travel to Galatasaray. I don't remember anything other than that. But I know we have Champions League next week, so
Yeah.
double game week. It's it's pretty much it's almost, I feel like it's a double game week now from now until eternity. Now that Champions League has started,
Mhm.
which is good for you, it's good for us. I love have things to bet on in the middle of the week, and to tune out to that second screen at 3 p.m. is it's the best thing in the world.
Hell yeah.
Um, until next week, everybody have a great weekend. Bet responsibly. Good luck.